It was the road that kept secrets. Shion Highway cut through the foggy hills like a scar, winding through the desolate outskirts of Matsui. Travelers rarely used it. It was a place where the mist never left, where the trees seemed to whisper, and where lost souls wandered. The road hid things that would never see the light of day. Things like NATSUMI Hayakawa. On October 22nd, a body was found there, beside the rusted guardrails. A woman in her 20s, dressed in red heels. Her neck was bruised, eyes wide open, staring into the mist as if waiting for someone. There was no identification on her, no weapon, no sign of a struggle, just the silence of the hills and the whisper of the wind. Her name was NATSUMI Hayakawa. Her death would mark the beginning of a series of events that no one would be able to unravel completely. Keita Morita didn't hear about the body until the next day. He was 31, a construction worker by day, a lonely man by night. His apartment was small, tucked away in a decaying part of Yonago. He wasn't a bad person, just invisible. He spent his evenings on dating apps, trying to make connections, trying to be something else. He wasn't sure who he was, but he could be whoever he wanted online. His profile read, Shun 1989, and it got enough attention, enough to make him feel seen. 2 nights before the body was found, Keita had met a woman named Yui. She was 27, worked part-time in a boutique in Izumo, and liked jazz and cats. They met in a convenience store parking lot, then drove out to a quiet spot along the Shion Highway. The night was cold, but it didn't matter. He remembered the way she sat in the car, her face dimly lit by the dashboard, silent but smiling. She laughed at his jokes, soft, hollow laughs that didn't quite reach her eyes. They didn't do anything, just talked. But when he saw the news the next morning, he felt like the ground had been ripped out from under him. A woman was dead. A woman who had been with him just 2 nights ago. Her body had been found on that same highway. In that same desolate place, his van was seen in the surveillance footage, his stomach twisted. Was he somehow involved? The police would soon call him a person of interest. Natsumi's family was devastated. Her father, a quiet barber in Hamada, refused to speak to reporters. Her mother collapsed during the funeral. Her friends posted tearful messages online, but the comments from strangers were cruel. They said things like, "Another whore gets what's coming," and "She was just another Tinder trash." The world didn't care that Natsumi had dreams once, that she had plans to move to Tokyo to start something new. The world only saw her as a victim, and in some ways, that's all she would ever be. Just a girl who vanished into the darkness, leaving behind only questions. Detective Terada had worked homicide for 17 years. He'd seen plenty of cases like this, bright young women who disappeared into the night. They were often lonely, lost, searching for something they couldn't name. The evidence pointed to Keita. His van had been seen near the scene, but there was something off about it. The bruises on her neck didn't match the size of Keita's hands. The footprints didn't fit his shoes. Terada knew something was wrong. Keita was hiding something, but it wasn't what everyone thought. Mitsuki Arai wasn't part of the investigation. She worked at a discount pharmacy, kept to herself, and didn't get involved in drama. But a few weeks ago, she'd matched with Keita on one of those same dating apps. They went for one dinner, but she never responded after that. He was too strange, too sad. When the police came to her apartment asking about Keita, she froze. She said they hadn't met in person, even though they had. She lied because, deep down, she didn't want anyone to know how closely she'd come to this tragedy, how her own loneliness had pushed her to interact with a man who might have been dangerous. But now, looking at the news, she felt guilty. She could barely sleep. She kept wondering if she could have done something different, said something, stopped it before it got this far. Minoru Okada wasn't a regular on the dating apps, but that night he had met Natsumi too. He wasn't supposed to. He wasn't supposed to be the one she trusted. But he was the one who drove her out to the Shion Highway. He was the one who had looked into her eyes and, when she laughed at his lies, decided that she had to be silenced. It wasn't supposed to happen that way. But when he saw her laugh, something inside him snapped. The rage, the years of rejection, the loneliness, all of it boiled over. He grabbed her, pulled her back into the car, and then it was over. She tried to escape, but he wouldn't let her go. He left her by the side of the road, a ghost in the fog, and drove away. No one would ever know it was him. He would erase the evidence, wipe away the memory. But Natsumi's body told another story. Keita was running, he didn't know why. The police were looking for him. The reports all but said he had done it. But Keita didn't remember anything that could have led to a murder. He was confused, terrified, lost. The walls closed in, the guilt gnawed at him. What if it was his fault? What if something he'd done, or didn't do, was what caused her death? He couldn't run anymore. He drove north to Niigata, where he checked into a love hotel under a fake name. The next morning, his face was plastered on every screen, but there was no confession, no blood on his hands. The police had nothing concrete, and Keita was, for a moment, forgotten by the world. In the end, it was Minoru who made the mistake. He tried to scam another woman, and this time he got caught. His DNA matched the crime scene, and the truth finally came to light. Natsumi's real killer was behind bars. Keita, though, wasn't a hero. He wasn't a villain either. He was just a man, and the world, in its cruel indifference, had taken his life and turned it upside down. Mitsuki sent him a message. "I'm sorry I disappeared. I was scared. I hope you're okay." But he didn't reply. Keita returned to his old life. The van was gone. He deleted the dating apps. But the loneliness never left. It never really does. And the highway, the road that had witnessed it all, it remained the same. Quiet, desolate, waiting for the next story to unfold. The truth wasn't something you could hold in your hands. It was just something you had to live with, piece by piece. And sometimes you never get the answers.